Welcome back to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Murph. Okay, so we're in late August. The question is, what is going to happen in September? How is September going to play out? Well, I'm going to share with you my thoughts. We'll take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. We'll look at some other ecosystems. And overall, I'm going to share with you my thoughts on how September will likely play out, as well as my thoughts on the market in general, and as well as we're going to talk about your first million in crypto. So stick around and let's get this party started. Let me share with you my screen. Here I've got Bitcoin pulled up versus USD, and we're looking at a 4-hour time frame on Binance. And so we saw early this year, look at how it started basically in December, even in November, taking off and running up, and then it peaked out at 65,000. It came back and played around at the $30,000 mark, and then it's come back up to 50,000. And a lot of people are figuring out what to do from here. So let me share with you my thoughts. Now, I don't have a magic crystal ball to know how this is going to play out, but September historically has not played out well for crypto. October, November, December historically plays out very well. So my guess is it plays out like this. Now, I talk about W's a lot, and my guess is it actually comes down from here, but it doesn't come down to as low as it did here, about 30,000, that maybe it touches down around 35,000 and then goes off. Now, I don't invest using leverage, and the reason I don't invest in using leverage is because even when you're right, you can lose. And by saying that is, what if you believe Bitcoin's going to go up from here and you're right, but it does come down and then it goes up like this? Well, depending on how much leverage you use, it probably just liquidated your position, and then it goes absolutely crazy. So you were right, but you were wrong before you were right, and because you were wrong just a little bit before you were right, it liquidated your position and you lost everything that you put in there. Now, if you put a short in or a stop loss, that helps, but you still lost some money on based on where that stop loss is, right? So I get it. There's people that disagree with me on this position. However, when you look at the actual numbers of how many people that make money on leverage versus how many people are trying it, the numbers are staggeringly not in your favor. So I don't trade on leverage. I spot trade because then that allows me the timing to see if I was really right or wrong. Because now my guess is plays out like this. So am I selling my stuff? And you can see what that looks like. Who knows what that looks like? I'm not selling to try to play this swing because I'm in it for longer time periods. So I'm looking at a time period of 3 months, 4 months, 6 months from now. And so even though I think it'll drop, and that'll probably have some implication against some of the altcoins, I don't know which ones specifically. And there's not as much correlation between the altcoins and Bitcoin's price as there used to be, and that continues to grow less and less over time. We've especially seen that with the gaming ecosystem decoupling from the crypto ecosystem, and DeFi itself can have its own run as well. So though I think Bitcoin's going to pull back from here, is my guess, I suspect strongly that it will, that I don't know which altcoins are going to come down and which ones are going to take off, and I'm okay with holding for the time period that I'm looking at. So speaking of altcoins, let's take a look at some of the ones, the ecosystems that are hot. Now, you know that I cover Cardano a lot, so I'm not going to bring Cardano's up on this, but we will talk about it. Its ecosystem completely took off in anticipation of smart contracts. We're not there. I think we're experiencing a small pullback. Usually in any bull run, it's like 3 steps forward, 1 or 2 steps back, and then it resumes. My guess is it will resume from here, and many of the ecosystem projects in that ecosystem will do well too. So let's take a look at Avalanche, and this is one of the reasons why trading on leverage sucks. See, I was looking at Avalanche and this big run up, so I don't buy the tops. I was looking for a good entry point, and here what often happens, look, if we look at this, if we're looking for W patterns, what do you see here? W. Notice that this is higher than this. And so what that tells you is the chances are that it's going to do this little pullback and then it's going to break up. Well, it did this little pullback, then it broke down. And so even though the odds were against it doing this, that's exactly what it did. So if you were you went and you bought on this little pullback here and you bought some right here and you were on leverage, well, even if you had a stop loss, you lost a bunch of money on this. However, If you had bought here and just been patient, boy, that was clear back in April, but here we are in August and you're in profit, and then it's actually pulled back right to about that point, but it's got plenty of room. In fact, this was a little bit lower. That's 33 and it's pulled back to about 43. So you're still up 33% over about a 6-month time period. So not bad, right? I mean, what else can give you those type of gains? And if you were really smart and you were a big believer in Avalanche, look at this nice long rounded bottom. That is almost always followed by a breakout. And that's exactly how it did play out. So this is why I spot trade and I look for these patterns, but no, these patterns don't always play out. And if they don't, you can make a decision to go ahead and sell, or you can just hold. Now, often they don't take that long to turn around, but in Avalanche's case, it did take that long. And it was 6-month hold, and then you're up considerably. If you had bought it, say, let's say you bought it right here at $33, and it went up here, and then it's at 41. So up here you were up quite a bit. You're still up right here. That's why I like spot trading. Now, Avalanche's ecosystem, we'll see how it comes together. I don't know whether I'm bullish on it for the long term. It has some things going well for it, but it's competing against some very solid third generation blockchains. ADA is just coming online with smart contracts, and there are a ton of them. There's Harmony, there's Elrond. There are a lot that they're competing against, not to mention Solana, which is the next one I want to talk about. So let me get rid of these lines so that we can look at this together. So this is a chart pattern that I drew out when I was analyzing before, and it broke out of this, and guess what happened? It absolutely went parabolic, like it often does when it breaks that pattern. But as we just saw, it doesn't always break up. You know, it has better chance of breaking up from there, but the market sometimes doesn't do what you expect. So this one did break up solidly. And so, yeah, if you happen to be trading on leverage and you put it in somewhere on this and you didn't get wiped out when it dipped a little bit down lower and went crazy, yeah, you would have made money. But I don't make those bets. I like to make money by just holding it, and then it goes crazy. So now I can't say I had a lot of Solana. I did pick up some, though. And so this has been a fantastic upside. All right, now the Solana ecosystem is coming together. You probably saw in my interview with Star Atlas that they're integrating the Serum DEX right into their game, which is huge. If you've been following Serum's coin, it has been growing, but the market cap is still low. Wink, wink. You might want to take a look at that and see if that's for you. I know my friend that is huge on Solana loves Serum to death. I truthfully only know a little bit about it. And then I heard Star Atlas was integrating it into their game, which is brilliant. But Star Atlas I'm really looking forward to. Just know that those kind of games take a while to come out. So if you're into that kind of game too, leave yourself lots of room for them to develop it right and build it right. So it'll be an amazing game for us all to play. Well, so that's just a little bit of what's happening right now and what's been happening. Now, August, things tend to do pretty well. Historically, September tends to be a pullback. So if that happens, don't get frustrated, especially if you're here for the longer term. It's okay. Let it play out. I'm still looking for good buys. If some of the stuff I have goes crazy, then of course I'll take gains on that, and I'm still just going to play it like I normally do, even though I expect Bitcoin in general to be down. That doesn't mean some of these altcoins won't do well and some of the other things. This decoupling is real, and perhaps what we will see is Bitcoin peaking out sometime next year, but altcoins continuing somewhat strong for a number of months after. We saw that a little bit in 2017, that Bitcoin crashed right at the beginning of January or end of December, and then the altcoins crashed about a week to 2 weeks later, but there still was some action on altcoins for about 5 months before it really died down. But boy, when they crashed, they really crashed, 95 to 99% for most of them. So you don't want to be holding massive amounts of altcoins when the crypto winter comes, because you will be left out in the cold. Okay, a little bit of news on what's going on. So really, for this to go parabolic, that happens when a lot more money comes into the space. So what generally happens is as more money comes into the space, people in the space make gains, and then they go out and they tell their friends and family. They tend to meet together, friends and family, in November and December, depending on which country and what holidays they have. But November and December, and I know Thanksgiving in Canada's in October, I believe, and Asia is really big on early in January and big family gatherings. So we'll see how this plays out, but crypto is definitely spreading across the world, and the usage of it is growing. In fact, India and Vietnam actually measured the top for actual adoption by individuals. So even though they have seen and can see the financials of many institutions getting involved, primarily in America and Europe, the actual growth that's being adopted by users, India and Vietnam are leading the charge. And so watch those countries for what's happening. I mean, India has a massive population. Vietnam, those guys are good businessmen. Man, they work super hard too. And so I'm excited to see where this goes and hopefully continues to spread all through the Asian continent. That would be amazing if India adopted in massive numbers the crypto for daily use. Remember when I did that article, I did that coverage about a month and a half ago, and I did it after Amazon had said it wasn't true. Anyway, there's an article that came out that Amazon was getting into crypto, and then Amazon flatly denied that they were getting into crypto. So I dug deeper into it, and I actually covered it after, and then I had some people in the comments say, no, that was fake news, you should be more updated. Well, I was right. I usually am. Not always, but usually. And the reason I went forward with that video was because Amazon had been hiring or had job postings for top crypto programming experts. So why else would they be doing that, right? So they said that was fake news, and no, they had no plans to go into crypto. But there's no reason you'd be hiring top crypto programmers if you have no reason to go into crypto. So what they were trying to do is say we're not ready to announce that yet. So they denied the story flatly, which is somewhat dishonest, right? They could have denied it in a different way. But yes, they were going into crypto. Absolutely, they were, and now Walmart is too. They're looking for top programmers. They're looking for cryptocurrency leads and lead developers. So this article coming out covering exactly what's happening there. Boy, they have a paywall on this, or they keep trying to get us into the paywall on this. Facebook and Novi are looking to integrate NFTs, so we'll see how this plays out. Now, what's interesting about technology is usually the existing giants get replaced by future giants, because the existing giants are driving this huge old ship that doesn't turn fast enough. We'll see. I mean, sometimes companies make big shifts and continue to innovate, but usually they get cozy and comfortable and are totally left in the dust 10, 20, 30 years down the road by other technologies who are more nimble, and they adjust to the new technology. So we'll see if Facebook can make these adjustments to stay relevant. Who knows? Curious as to what they're doing with NFTs. It's funny that we covered the other day that Visa bought that CryptoPunk, and it stemmed off a lot of buying of CryptoPunks. But this is what the bull market looks like, and you see these kind of indicators, and so even more money, like it catches their attention. A lot of people come and FOMO in, and that's why I think later this year or early next year we have a massive parabolic move coming. That's why I still have a lot of my investments in altcoins. Understand that is so risky, because if I'm wrong, it will go terrible for me. Why? Because altcoins crash terribly. But if I'm right, they go up far more than Bitcoin does. And so that's my choice that I make for myself. Though what you do is really on you. As you know, I share it all the time. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do. I can share with you what I'm doing, and you can make your own decision as to what makes sense for you. All right, what else is going on? So I want to share with you Unbound Finance. Now, I talked about it about a month and a half ago. This is one to look at. It's going to be tradable soon, and it's pretty amazing what they're doing. Here's the website, Unbound.finance. But essentially, you can take your liquidity pool tokens. Now, if you're brand new to the space, you don't know what that is, so let me explain it to you. So say you want to kind of earn some long-term rewards, and you want to provide liquidity to Uniswap. And providing liquidity, you can earn some rewards over time. There's some risk to it as well, but you can essentially put US dollar tether and Ethereum, and you can provide both sides of that liquidity pool, and in return you'll get liquidity pool tokens. Now what Unbound Finance is allowing you to do is take those LP pool tokens, and then you can cash them in for stablecoins, or essentially get a loan against them. What is interesting is it's a non-interest bearing loan. Fascinating, huh? Now you think, okay, is that going to be big? My phone's trying to listen to me. So if you ever wondered if your phone is always listening, your phone is always listening, unfortunately. So, yeah, is that a big deal that you can do that? Yes, it is. And so maybe for average everyday people that might have $2,000 in crypto or $10,000 in crypto, not so much. But the wealthy are always looking for ways to leverage their money in different ways and to pull out loans against it, maybe buy more or buy other assets, right? So if you hit wealth at a certain point, you can actually take loans against that wealth, not have to pay taxes on the loans that you took out against that, and use the loans to pay your average everyday bills. Just look at the amount of, I guess, DeFi that's happening and how much in loans is out there. So this is just a better tool that hasn't been available before. Let me scroll down and share with you. Look at all those that are integrating with this. Uniswap, or that they're integrating with. Balancer, Luau Swap, which I've never heard of, Sushi Swap, Loopring, DFYN, PancakeSwap, QuickSwap, Curve Finance, Bancor, Mooniswap, Kyber. This is huge. These are the protocols that this is going to support. So you can take liquidity pools or liquidity pool tokens from there. You can then borrow stable coins against that on a non-interest bearing loan that you can pay that loan back at any time. That is cutting edge technology. Nobody's doing that in a big way yet. And so I've been hearing about Unbound Finance from different VCs and other well-connected people for the past 2.5 months. Well, they're getting closer to their launch, and it's time to really start paying attention to figure out whether you're interested in them. This is one of those big projects that I think will go really huge. And so it's definitely one to watch, because sometimes in those early days, especially if September we have a pullback and the market isn't going crazy, maybe we're really blessed and the prices on this are cheap when it comes out. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But I want to share with you who they're backed by. This is a who's who of the crypto space. I mean, oh my gosh. So founder of Engine, we've got the co-founder and COO of Polygon. We have everything. Like, if you look through this, it's huge. I also suggest you go to their Medium page. So that's unboundfinance.medium.com. Strongly suggest you take a look at that so that you can become familiar with it. Boy, Ollie thinks, come here, Ollie. I'm going to share Ollie with you since you guys don't know Ollie. This is Ollie, and he heard somebody come in, and so he's wanting to go play. So I'm going to let him out. I'll be right back with you. All right. So Unbound Finance, their Medium page, you can take a look at this and figure out what's going on with them here. All right, so your first million in crypto. I told you we'd talk about this. I'd love to know more in the comment section, or even better if you join our Telegram group, because I do pop in there more. But you can reach me usually through the comments. You can reach me a lot better through the Telegram group, that if you click on See More and join us there, helps. I'm also on Twitter, but not on Twitter a ton. You can find me at CryptoRain with 2 N's, and so that's another place you can join me. So your first million in crypto. Really, the reason that I got into crypto back in 2017 was I saw something with a shortened life cycle, meaning from top to top, it's usually only about 4 years. And so what I've realized over the past 3.5 years, is that people who commit to being in the space for 5 years, you increase your chances of achieving life-changing wealth within that 5 years by a lot. Now, there's no guarantees. It has to do with how many good choices you make versus the bad choices. And the truth is, when you're new to this, you're new, and we're always bad before we're good. And so what I realized, because I'm good at detecting patterns, is that some of my friends that didn't always make the best choices, but they stuck around and they invested even during the bear market, that many of them are now wealthy. Now, I have lots of friends that were in crypto in 2017, but it's the ones that stuck around and kept buying during the bear market that are now hitting their financial goals. And so that will work for you as well. So if you commit to be here for 5 years, my guess is it's going to go really well for you. But I did create this channel to share with you not only that system seems to work pretty well, but the principles that help you make better decisions. Because I'm not a financial advisor, I can't tell you specifically what to do, but I can share with you what I'm doing and that what works, all right? Well, thank you all, and I've got this wrap at the end, and this wrap is to reinforce the principles. Now, it hurts my YouTube algorithm by putting this at the end because many people leave, and that's okay. I don't mind eating it. I do appreciate it if you give me a like, though. It helps me a ton. Thank you so much.
Came into the space chasing all of the games, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, be bad before you're good. Was taught to buy when it was boring like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I always make the time in mind. I sit the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. The principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Why when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, go parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. The time is never better, the time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy but with knowledge to gain show. Sticking at this wrong cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing and when it's slow will be the target. Naysayers come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. I'm sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. In 2 years time the bull will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go with the hate, let the haters be crapping. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough. And that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.